Let's see. What is going on, everybody? It is Ryan 1988 or Justin back here to do, I was going to say back here to do a video, but a live stream. And I am with an awesome YouTuber, awesome friend of mine, Nathan Jones. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so happy spooky season is upon us. This is
As am I. As am
one
I.
of the best times of the year.
Mhm. I hope everyone who's watching this or on the rewind is really happy too. I mean, it only happens once, and so we have to cram in all of movies that we want to watch all in this month, right?
I know. I usually try to start mid-September if I get a chance.
Me too, actually.
Yeah. Do you like, before we get started and talk about our picks, do you like, if you don't finish in October, like, do you slightly go into November and try to like wrap up a few movies like before that Thanksgiving holiday kind of hits?
I mean, yes and no. Like, I know last year I was really pushing towards noir because I wanted to move toward Noir-vember. And so I was definitely looking more towards that, even though I'm pretty sure if I looked at my letterbox, I'm sure what I'm saying is a lie. And I probably still watch some horror movies on the way out into early November. What about you?
Oh, I do. Yeah. I mean, I watch them all year round pretty much, but like come like November 15th, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get into like Thanksgiving movies and like Christmas movies and all that. So
yeah,
but
it's all holiday based.
Yes, but we're not here for that. We are here talking about some recommendations as far as the spooky Halloween season goes. And I wanted you on because, again, I consider you an awesome YouTuber and an awesome friend. And if you guys don't know, and by the way, I see 3 people in here. Hello, say hello.
Hey.
We are going to recommend, each of us are going to recommend 6 horror movies to watch this month. And we do not know what each other picked, so this is going to be a surprise, I think. So hopefully it's a surprise. I think it's going to be a surprise. And maybe a surprise for people watching this. So what's up, Ollie? How are you doing?
Hey.
Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate that. What is going on, Ollie?
It's always good.
Let us know how you're doing. You what?
It's always good to catch things live, even though I never do. So I completely get what you're saying because I have
a hard time.
I'm never able to catch things live. Life is life, you know. So
it is. I have a hard time with the 2 sometimes. So life happens. All right, buddy. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
How do you want to do this? I will allow you to choose. What do you want?
I'll go first, and then you go. So I wanted to try to pick a black and white horror movie. I feel like it's fitting for the month of October, the spooky season. And I also wanted to pick a zombie movie, which I think you know what I'm going to talk about.
I might pull it over here.
It's a good old Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, nice.
I know. So I went with good old Night of the Living Dead with this. It's a combination of, picking a zombie movie, picking a black and white film, one of my favorite black and white movies. And, the reason why, one of the other reasons why I picked this is I just love the atmosphere in this movie. I really feel like out of Romero's zombie movies, this is the one that when you're wanting to watch something in October during the Halloween season, Night of the Living Dead is that movie. So, and it's a go-to of mine every year. I have to watch this one. So,
surprisingly, it's I have this movie and Season of the Witch out on Arrow, which is not a zombie movie, but I unfortunately, sorry to everyone watching this, have not seen much Romero. I don't have Dawn of the Dead, even though I really would love to get that Second Sight box set, I believe they put it out. That's something that I've been wanting to get, and obviously to watch his other movies that he's put out. That is a classic choice for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and Dawn of the Dead, that Second Sight release is amazing. So if you ever get your hands on it, you'll love it. So
yeah, It's soon, but I love that. I love that choice. I love that that movie. I'm glad that's pretty much available to everybody because I believe that's public domain. So if, I'm sure you could watch it on YouTube if you want. For anyone watching this, definitely pick up the Criterion release. I'm sure it's streaming on so many places. I'm sure maybe Shudder. I don't know. Probably.
I don't know yet. I don't know. I have to look that one up.
But it's. I mean, you have it, so why look it up? Right.
Well, I would say if you don't have the movie, anybody watching this, if you don't have it, say you haven't seen it yet. If you have Shudder, try to go look it up and see if it's there. But if you're a physical media collector like myself and Nathan, this is the one to get. Night of the Living Dead right here. It's amazing. Ollie, let's see. Have you got Halloween 5 on 4K yet? It's out everywhere. Not yet, buddy. I ordered mine and they have yet to arrive. So I'm looking forward to getting them.
Everyone a hint. I have a few of them, but I have at least the first one right here, and I have a few other ones. But if you want to, I'm going to be putting a video out soon with some pickups, and so that's just a little bit of a hint. But I got a few of them myself. Yeah, that's excellent choice.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, and look right here, the original Dawn of the Dead is my top 5 of all time. I love that, Ollie. I love that. That's a good one.
Ollie he has the same ones that I have. He completely called me out. Those are the 3 I have right now. Nice. Yeah, that's the only ones I could find because I don't have 3 and 5 aren't here locally where I'm at. So, but yeah, spoil the fun. But yeah, 1, 2, and 4 are fantastic. So like, why not have those ones? But really wanting 3 though. Really wanting 3.
3, I feel like it's going to look just amazing on 4K. The colors and everything.
I've heard the Dolby. Yeah, sorry.
No, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was going to say I heard the Dolby Atmos is really good on that one. So
yeah, I was hearing that too. And Halloween 5, I know it's kind of people either love it or hate it, but I love that movie, so that's a good one too.
I've never seen it.
You're in for a treat when you see all these, so they're fun.
All right, you ready for my pick?
You're next.
All right. So I also chose a movie, maybe an older film. And actually, now that you brought up this one from 1968, I'm like, I did not really – I went with all my picks. I decided to really go a little bit more contemporary, which is – I didn't mean to. But, this is the oldest one in the films that I have over by me. But I definitely went into this thinking about movies that really aren't talked about as much necessarily. Mm-hmm. So – my first choice is actually a movie from 1979, and it is a second sight release, actually. I just have the standard edition of it, but I'm talking about The Changeling right here with George C. Scott. This is just one of the coolest atmospheric films that I've ever seen about like a haunted house and about the spirit of a little kid, a little boy, just pretty much trying to talk to George C. Scott, who I guess near the beginning of the film, he loses his wife and his son in an accident at the very, very beginning. And he's inherited this house, or is like pretty much just a writer and is there all the time. But things starting to get a little bit spooky. The score in this, the physical. I'm sure we'll mention this several times, but like just the practical effects with everything is just bar none. I had a really good time. I actually just watched this just about a week ago for the first time, and I really, really liked it. Have you seen this one?
Wait, you want to know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was my second one I picked. It's okay though. That's it's funny. Okay.
He's got backup. Okay. That's hilarious. It's okay. We both chose The Changeling. Oh, that's wonderful. You have the 7 release there?
I have the 7 release. Yes, I do.
That's
fantastic. 2 minds think alike though. 2 awesome minds. That's awesome. That was my second one actually. So I'll just talk about it. Like I love atmosphere. I love a good haunted house movie. This is one of the best ones. Mm-hmm. And George C. Scott, he's fantastic in this. I think he does a great job. The overall cast is great. And it's actually one that like creeps me out. It's one of those great haunted house movies that creeps you out.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't rely on, I can't remember, but it doesn't rely on jump scares, I don't think. It's not really one that does
maybe
that.
more, some with the chair, kind of.
Yeah.
But not
really,
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. I love it. And I love the setting. It's a great, eerie setting. But Rudy, how are you? How you doing, Rudy?
Hey.
What's going on? By the way, guys, I will leave it down below, but if you guys have not subscribed to my buddy Nathan yet, please go do so. I'll leave his channel down in the description, so definitely go subscribe to him. But since you picked this one, I'm going to go
right now.
Okay, well, let me find it. I think I have it right here. There you go. All right, I got it.
All right.
So kind of an underrated one, obscure. I don't know if you've seen this one yet, but Legend of Hellhouse.
I haven't. I've been wanting to watch that.
That's another good haunted house. So many other elements in it, which I don't want to spoil. Maybe a little possession. Roddy McDowell from Fright Night. Peter Vincent, one of his before Fright Night, pretty much 1972. You talk about another movie that has just a really good eerie atmosphere. I love the score in this movie. There's some scenes that actually like scare me. Like I've seen it maybe 6 times now, maybe more, and it still gets me each time I watch it. It came out in the early 70s and kind of fell under the radar. Like people do talk about it, but I consider it to be a little bit underrated, a little obscure. Legend of Hellhouse. If you want a good, scary, old school haunted house movie, this is one to check out.
Is there who's in that movie?
We got Roddy McDowell, Pamela Franklin, Clive Reville. Hopefully, I'm saying that right, and Gail Huncut. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. I don't know if you.
But Roddy McDowell is what you're saying.
Roddy McDowell, yeah. Peter Vincent.
We know
Good old Roddy McDowell.
Right.
Yeah, so
that sounds awesome.
But yeah, it's great. I mean, you said you saw The Changeling recently. This is one to put on your list. Definitely watch that one.
Is that a good pairing?
Oh, it is. Good double feature. If you want a good haunted house double feature,
I do like me some haunted houses. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we both picked The Changeling. That's hilarious that we both chose that. Maybe that might happen again. Who knows?
You never know.
Spookier things have happened, everyone who's watching this.
That's true.
I know.
That's true.
So, you want the next one for me?
Yeah, next one for you, bud.
All right. So, I have an Arrow release in front of me. Actually, one from 2019, so not that long ago. And I got this back in the Easter Carnage sale that happened back in April. From their website, and I remember going through just all those movies that I wanted to pick up and seeing this one and then watching the trailer and just being like, this looks right up my alley. I'm a big fan of David Lowery, so I know recently he did The Green Knight. A Ghost Story is one of my favorite films he's ever done. He did Pete's Dragon, and a lot of stuff with Casey Affleck with Ain't Them Body Saints and whatnot. But anywho, the reason I brought this up is because he's actually good friends with some of the people who were in this. Bria Grant is in this movie, and she's a part of A Ghost Story. But I'm talking about After Midnight right here. And this has, I also did mention Moorhead and Benson, who are really great science fiction kind of horror directors that have made a lot of really great movies. And I'm sure a lot of people who's watching this right now knows Moorhead and Benson. Like, they did The Endless. They've done Spring. And I think the most Synchronic is the last thing they did, I believe. I know that I believe who is it? Vincent is actually in this movie, but I know he produced it. But I'm talking about all the people around the movie. But The movie itself, though, is really about this fractured couple that kind of weaves back and forth between the past and the present, what's going on. But as you can see from this guy on this couch, and there's this hole in the door, the shotgun hole, there's something that happened between this couple, and she left, and he's kind of going mad in this older house, and there's this creature that keeps potentially like scraping at the door trying to get in, and he's got his couch to it and like with the shotgun, and every time it comes out every night, and he's trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and it's going mad a little bit. But it's a really great combination of horror and romance, and like it's Lovecraftian a little bit, and I really really love that stuff. So I highly recommend this one for people. It's not it's not an amazing film or anything like that, but it's definitely like a lower budget film that like works really really well, and I think it's really good. Have you seen this one?
I haven't seen that. I think I've heard of it, so I need to look that one up. I need to see that one.
But have you seen any Moorhead and Benson stuff?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. So
you would really like it.
I'll have to check some of that stuff out. So you have to like send me a list of these movies. So what did they do again? Like they did After Midnight.
Well, Moorhead and Benson themselves he just starred in this and produced it.
Okay.
One of them did. Because it's produced by Moorhead and Benson, and then also Justin Benson is in the movie itself. But they didn't do anything else besides that for this. This was directed by Jeremy Gardner and Christian Stella. So two guys, and I think Jeremy Gardner's in this movie. He's the main character. So it's really cool just seeing directors be a part of the things that they make, and that's what I was saying about the lower budget kind of things, where it's like it's just really cool how creative they can get with things like this. So, but yeah, I can send you a list of Moorhead and Benson's work, but if you're into like cosmic horror and like weird stuff, then yeah.
Well, I feel bad. I need to like talk about this one a little bit more. So I'm going back a little bit because I don't know because again, Legend of Hellhouse is a pretty obscure one. It's pretty much about these paranormal investigators. 4 of them, one being a medium, if that's the correct term. They are going to this mansion, this house that is haunted. And they pretty much are going there to get rid of the ghost, clean the house, clean the mansion, and a lot of just crazy, creepy, eerie, bizarre things start happening. So a lot of good surprises with that one. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit because I totally forgot to do that.
You're good.
But yeah.
Well, hey, everyone in the chat.
Well, hello. La Crypta, how are you? This is my buddy Nathan, by the way. So if you haven't subscribed to him yet, definitely do so. But how are you doing? Then we got my buddy Jay. How are you? How's it going? And then Antonis, how are you? I'm doing good, buddy. Doing good. So
thanks for stopping by, guys.
Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy our list of films. Should we go? I wonder. Let's go like after we're done with all.
Quick cover about the ones we talked about. Yeah. You show your 2. Yeah.
All right. So Night of the Living Dead, my number 1, and my second one was The Legend of Hellhouse.
And my number 1 was The Changeling, which actually, fun fact, is Justin and I both picked that.
Yes.
And After Midnight so far is what I've chosen. Fantastic.
All right, La Crypta. Currently watching The Dead Next Door. I've seen that one. It's cheesy fun. It's a good zombie movie.
I like cheese, so.
I do too. I love it. Good cheese. Good cheese there. And then Jay, awesome. He's going to give you a sub. So.
Thank you. All right. What's our third movie?
My third movie. So I wanted to go somewhat modern. It came out in, I think, 2005. It says, 2005. A movie that I wanted to go Possession. I wanted to pick a possession movie. I almost went Exorcist 3 because I still feel like that's a little bit of a obscure, underrated one. Have you seen Exorcist 3?
I have it right. Where's that? Right there.
I love that movie. Love it. But I wanted to go with The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Ooh, nice one.
Have you've seen this one?
Yeah, I remember renting it back in the day.
Let me tell you.
Mom.
Oh my gosh. So the first time I saw it, I liked it, but I didn't appreciate the movie as much as I do now. I watched it last year, and I don't know what it was. Maybe, just kind of being older. Sometimes you go back and you look at movies and you appreciate it. This is one of those movies for me. And this is going to be a staple during the October Halloween season. Where to start with this movie? I think people know about it, but I think over time it's kind of went away and not as many people talk about it when they bring up possession, exorcism movies. First off, I love the performances. Jennifer Carpenter, I believe. Jennifer Carpenter as Emily Rose. Just when you watch her performance, she's talented in this movie, but it's heartbreaking to see, what she goes through in this movie. Laura Linney, I believe, she's amazing in this movie. I like the fact that it's a possession film that takes place kind of the main setting's like a court hearing. Some really good scares. I was creeped out with this movie last year. I watched it, and I wasn't scared the first time I saw it, again, because I didn't appreciate the movie as much. It scares me now. This is a good, scary movie.
I wonder if it's scary because of like our background and where we're from.
Yeah.
Because both of us are in the spots where this potentially could have happened, right?
Right, I know.
Right. And that's a great movie. I need to rewatch that.
Yeah. And it's scary because it's based on a true story too. Like, if people don't know, it is based on a true case that happened. So that's a scary thing. But yeah, it's a good eerie one. Like, even little things like, I think like Laura Linney, she like wakes up every morning, her alarm goes off at like 3:00 or something like that. And it's not one, again, that like relies on jump scares. You don't really see a lot in this movie. It's mostly like performances that are great. The subtle stuff that's scary. But yeah, I love this. So, Exorcism of Emily Rose. So
I need to. How much was that Blu-ray? Because I'm assuming it's just a standard, so I'm sure it's relatively cheap. You remember getting that last year?
I think $12.
Something like
$12.
That.
Yeah, looks really good. Unrated version, which was really
I gotta
cool.
ask my mom if I can get it. So,
you can get that one.
Yeah, we'll see what she says.
La Crypta, he says, yes, awesome possession movie. Sweet. Jay says you can't go wrong with a good exorcism movie. I agree. And La Crypta says I watched it a few weeks ago for the first time and loved it. So, all right. So, yeah, it's a good one. Do you remember the first time you saw it? Like, you said you saw it with your mom, correct?
Yeah, it was a scary, like, my mom and I used to watch, like, because I remember, I mean, this was like the family video days, which we've mentioned before, we've talked about. And but I believe this was maybe near the tail end of Blockbuster around where I'm from, and when this came out, and I remember renting it, and I remember watching it with my mom and being like, okay, well, this is a little too scary for me, because I remember you said 2003, right?
2005, I think. Yeah,
2005. Yeah. So at that point, to show my age to everybody, I was a teenager then, but I was also scared a little bit shitless in my early teens.
Yeah.
So things like that was like a little bit of effective towards me. But like now, I feel like there was a middle, like in my late teens, early 20s, I probably would have watched this movie and been like, yeah, this is just one of those movies I watched when I was a kid. But now I'm sure, just based on all the things that I've watched now, that I'm like, I could go back and, like you did, kind of revisit it, and I'm sure I would enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah.
More. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't appreciate it as much the first time I saw it, and I love it now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. La Crypta says the scene in the barn was creepy as hell. Yes, it was.
I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sean, how are you? Let's see.
Yes.
Have you seen Lake Mongo? I have not. I have not seen it.
It's on Prime, I believe, and I think it's on Prime. That's where I think I watched it for free. So if anyone wants to watch that movie, it's a great Australian found footage movie, like really good.
I'm gonna have to watch that one.
Very good. And it's also short.
All right, so I'm gonna check it. I have Prime, so that's awesome. Hey, Jamie, how are you? How's it going, Jamie? Great to see you. Hope all is well, my friend. Jose,
hey,
what's up, guys? How are you? What's going on?
Indeed.
And then he said, "God, I miss Blockbuster. I miss the video stores, so I miss that." And then Justin, I see you're a fan of Shocker. I am. Wes Craven Shocker. I am. It's a fun one. Fun camp. All right. So so I did my third one. What's going to be your third one, buddy?
My third one is, if people who are watching this who know me will know I'm going to talk about it. But this is probably in the last 10 years. Well, now we're in a new decade, right? So in the 2010s, this is probably my favorite horror movie. I just remember my theater experience like incredibly well. But anyway, it's The Witch by Robert Eggers. And this movie, I know we were talking a little bit earlier about atmosphere, and this is just perfection to me, because I love films that really build dread and just plays with your mind a little bit. And I just remember where I was when I watched this movie for the first time, and it just kind of shook me a little bit, even though like now I've watched it, probably 15-20 times now, and it's obviously not as impactful, but I love the score in this movie. I think the dialogue and like just getting the setting and the themes down, I think Robert Eggers did a really fantastic job. Like, this is his first movie he did, and he's done The Lighthouse, which is incredible too. I can't wait for him to do Nosferatu. Hopefully that'll come out next year. He's doing that, by the way.
I love that.
Yeah, and he's the perfect person to do Nosferatu, I think. And I'm like,
yes.
and Anna Taylor-Joy has already signed up for it, so I'm already about it. So, and she's in this too. She's the main character for everybody who's watching this. So, I love this movie.
And I did not pick it, but I almost did. So that's kind of funny that you picked it. But I almost did. I almost picked it.
Black Phillips, right there.
Right there.
Everyone looking.
I almost picked that one too. That was like, it's like, do I pick it? Do I not pick it? Like, I was very close to picking that one. I love The Witch. I know some of my friends are divided with it. Either some love it or don't love it. I loved it.
But yeah,
I loved it.
That's like my bread and butter type of horror. Like, I mean, I didn't mention it, but like Hereditary, stuff like that. I mean, those are some A24 films, but I guess like, Goodnight Mommy. I'm just bringing up a few things just to kind of highlight like the types of atmospheric, kind of more modern films that I really, really like, that horror that I'm like, this is actually more disturbing for me than just seeing, like, it depends on my mood really. But I think the ones that really do get me a lot more are the ones that are like, well, this is kind of messing with my mind a little bit more than maybe I would watch like a slasher or, a typical kind of James Wan movie. Not to put those down, but those, like I don't need jump scares as much. I want things that are like a little bit more like, I don't know what's going on, and even if there is nothing that goes on, that's even better, because it's like that just tricked me into thinking something was about to happen, and I love that. So
I love those too. Like the ones that just mess with your mind. Those are my favorite ones. So. And like you said, The Witch. I don't think I've ever seen Goodnight Mommy. I need to watch that one.
I believe it's German. It's the same director duo that did The Lodge that came out earlier this year, I think.
That was good.
Which,
that was good.
Goodnight Mommy's better. Just
yeah,
very good. Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. All right, going through these comments real quick. Jamie, I'm glad you're doing well. Thank you for stopping in. Count Von Strange. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. What's good? What's up? How are you?
What's up?
He says, The Witch is a great movie. I agree. And Anya Taylor-Joy, speaking of her, I'm so excited to see Last Night in Soho coming out. So.
Oh, yes. Speaking of another creepy movie, right?
I know. Oh,
that's like a perfect October, November little get a little bit mix of the noir in there, a little bit mystery.
I agree. Oh yeah. And it's Edgar Wright. He's directing.
Yeah, Edgar Wright's doing it. Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of his.
Love every movie he's done. I mean, I haven't seen the Sparks Brother. I know he did that documentary this year too, but I've loved everything I've seen him do.
Same here. Let's see. Jose says, "Holy shit! I'm about ready to watch The Witch." To my girlfriend, first time. Well, there you go.
Hopefully she likes it. Hopefully she likes it. It's a divided movie, like Justin said.
It is, but I love it. I loved it the first time I saw it. I still love it today.
Me too.
Really messed up too. Like there's some scenes in that movie that just will stay in your head after you finish watching it. So I won't say anything, but the crow scene, I think you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, yeah. Let's see, Jamie. I love The Witch. Really great atmosphere. You what?
The Vavitch. the double V. Yeah.
Yeah, the double V.
Yeah, I love it.
Really great atmosphere, but I agree with that. I love the atmosphere. Let's see. Hopefully I'm saying this right. Big Bolly. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Watched all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies this weekend, and Texas Chainsaw 3D is terrible. You know what? That might be a guilty pleasure of mine, but I have a good time with that one. Not the best. You what?
I was going to say, I like his Celebrity Deathmatch.
I do too.
Ring announcer. I haven't seen that guy in forever.
Same here. What's up, J-Dev? How are you doing? Says, hey guys, Justin, you need to enable the super chats. I don't know how to do that. So
I just work here.
Not sure. Yeah, if anybody can tell me how to do that, let me know. I don't even know if I have that, so I am not sure. So J-Dev, let me know if you know how to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to talk to Nick about it because Nick will probably help me out with that. He says, I just watched Hereditary for the first time last night. Very nice. Very nice. I know.
All I got to say.
That's all you got to say. So, and thank you, JW. Yeah, I'll talk to Nick about the super chats. But I hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you all for stopping in, by the way. We appreciate it. Once again, guys, Nathan Jones, if you haven't subscribed to him yet, please go do so. So I'm 50-50 with it. It has some really good creepy scenes. I think to me, when Sane himself... to me was when Sane himself talked to her. I think the witch, yes,
the witch, yeah,
the witch. Let's see. Let's see. James says I'm stoked for Last Night in Soho and Halloween Kills. I'm stoked for both of those too. I'm excited. So I was talking to a buddy of mine last night. I'm like, so Halloween Kills is coming out, and there was another movie that I kept thinking of, and now it's Last Night in Soho. So. All right, so I picked. I got my third one. Did you go with your third one?
Yes.
Went with your third. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So my next one, I had to go with a Dracula type or vampire Dracula movie. I went Dracula, but not the Dracula that the black and white Dracula. I went with Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Ooh, 1992.
1992, Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah. This one right here, I remember as a kid, terrified me. There were some really creepy scenes in this, designs, effects, practical effects in this movie that really got to me the first time I saw it. And it's probably a movie that I should not have been watching at the age that I did. I think I only saw parts of it, and it just kind of got into my head, and it took me a long time to finally watch this again. But yeah, fantastic movie in my opinion. I love this, despite some what might be questionable performances like Keanu Reeves with his accent. He's still good in it.
He's not the focus.
He's not the focus.
No.
Gary Oldman, Dracula,
absolutely
amazing.
And Winona Ryder, of course.
Winona Ryder, love her. Overall, amazing cast though. Like Anthony Hopkins is in this movie. Again, some really good scares in the film, some really good practical effects, and I love the setting. I love the atmosphere. We talk about it. Probably going to talk about atmosphere a lot, but I really do love the atmosphere in this. So, and the direction by Francis Ford Coppola. He did such an amazing job in this. So, I love this one. So, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Did he do that movie? When did Godfather 3 come out? 1993?
I think that was 1990. I could be wrong.
Okay, so I was going to say, I was trying to figure out what the movie was between that and like Apocalypse Now, because I wanted to say I'm sure he was tired for a bit and then eventually got to Dracula, right? So
yeah.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I love this one. What's your thoughts on this?
That's one of my favorite movies. I mean, that's one of my favorite movies. That's, to everyone listening, that's the year I was born, so that's one of my favorite movies of my birth year. So I love it. I think it fits the adaptation of like the book itself.
Yes,
pretty well, which is not always the case for a lot of things. Obviously, there's artistic liberty.
Can you hear me? I think Nathan, I don't know if his signal got lost. Can you hear me, buddy? Can you hear me, Nathan? Let's see. His signal might come back up, guys. But I'll go through some of these real quick. We're talking some Strangeland. Just got done watching Strangeland. So damn good. That is a good one. Dead Pop. Really good one. Let's see. I'm going to try to get Nathan back in here, guys. Let's see if he'll pop back in. Sean Brown, what's your favorite Tales from the Crypt story? I know it's probably going to be typical, but I think the Christmas one is great. I love that. Hey, J-Dev. Awesome, buddy. Well, let's see. You're going to go see the new James Bond movie. Well, let me know how that is. Definitely let me know. Please let me know, bud. Have a good time. Have a good time watching it, J-Dev. I am looking forward to that new James Bond movie. Let's see if I can get Nathan back in here, guys. All right, he's going to pop in just a little bit, guys. So let's see. I'm going to go through these comments, though. Let's see. Some love for Strangeland. Yes, that's a good one. J-Dev. F off, Wade. Yeah. Halloween 4. Kelly Meekler. J-Dead. John Wick versus vampires. Somewhat true. Yeah. Love it. Ready for the new John Wick movie. I'm a big John Wick fan. Jamie. Gary Oldman is such a good actor. Always morphs like no other. I agree. And he is like, probably my favorite performance maybe is him in Dracula. Really transforms into that movie. And his makeup and everything is just fantastic. Big Volley. Subbed after seeing your House of Wax Shout Factory review. Really good content, and I love how you went in depth on the picture quality. I took a gamble on Amazon, and it came with a slip. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad you enjoyed the review. And yeah, enjoy that release. I love House of Wax, and that was a fantastic release. So definitely enjoyed that, and I'm glad it came with the slip, bud. But thank you for subscribing. I hope I'm glad you're really enjoying the content. So thank you. Yeah, Jamie, he froze. He's going to be back in just a moment. But let's talk for a little bit, guys. So how are you all doing? Do you have any questions for me? It's been a while since I've done a live chat, so I'm going to get back into doing more of these live chats. So yes, I don't see. Thank goodness, Jay, that the aliens did not take him. His computer froze. So I'm glad the aliens did not take him. Hey, Cody. How are you doing, buddy? Yes, 5 days away. Halloween Kills. I cannot believe it's here. It's almost here. I'm so excited for it. And awesome, Jamie. Thank you. Had you seen that one before, Jamie? I could be wrong. I think we might have talked about it. Had you seen the movie before, or was this kind of just like a getting it for the first time on Blu-ray? I love that movie, and I'm glad you picked it up. Based on my review. So I think it's got some really awesome practical effects in the movie, some awesome kills, and great score, great setting. I love that movie. Again, I talk about atmosphere a lot. Love the atmosphere in House of Wax. Really love it. But what have you guys been watching so far during the month of October? Let me know. Dead Pop, let's see. I've been a sub for years. I remember when you used to say eat Skittles or something like that. Love your channel. First time seeing you live. Well, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I just started doing live chats maybe 3 or 4 months ago. They've been so much fun, and it's just a great way to chat with you guys in another way and then bring people on to talk to. So I love doing them. But thank you for the sub. And I still say go eat some Skittles. I spread the Skittle love, positivity, Skittle love. So I still say that one. I almost retired it, but I had a buddy of mine say, do not do that, Justin. That's your trademark. Oh, Nathan is back in here, guys. Let's get him back in here. Let's see. How do I do this? Add him in here. Edit name. Oh.
Hey.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm on a different computer. I don't know what the heck happened with that computer, but it shut down. Sorry, everybody.
You're fine. Somebody said you might have got taken by aliens, but I was like, no, his computer froze. He's fine.
I wish that I was taken by aliens sometimes, you know.
I was going through some of these comments. Let's see. Okay, Jamie's talking about House of Wax. Have you seen the 2005 House of Wax movie, by the way?
The one with Paris Hilton?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's back in the days that I rented things. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great, fun, atmospheric movie.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah. A Scream Factory release. Definitely pick that one up. That's a good one. Let's see. Thoughts on the Bates Motel series? I've only seen parts of it. I need to go and rewatch that series.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Mm-mm.
Let's see. And then I was talking about if anybody's been watching some October stuff. Jamie says, I've yet to watch anything for the October season, but I did do a pumpkin patch. I did go to a pumpkin patch and put a video on my trip on my channel. There we go.
I love it. Can't talk, but I mean, he's got some pumpkins in his mouth, I think, right?
There you go.
I'll have them behind me, some gourds or something. Yeah.
I love it.
Little guys.
Yes. Oh, awesome. And I got mine. I don't know. You can't see it, but it's like so far away. I got my Halloween tree there. So let's see if I can get this real quick. There you go.
I love it.
Halloween tree. Thank you. All right, so I did Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Yeah.
which was my fourth one. I think, yeah, four?
Mm-hmm.
Four? Yeah. So what would be your fourth one?
My fourth one is another. I'll I'll cut it out with the amount of modern movies I'm choosing because just fun fact, everybody, I love movies from every decade, from the 20s on. So I just decided to I picked these piles. This is kind of just how it happened. But this one came out a few years ago, and was more of a writer than a director before he did a few things on his own. But the first one, this is a cosmic horror film, but I'm talking about Annihilation. And this is absolutely one of the films that, I know we talked about Dread a little bit. Like, this is the movie. I remember watching this in theaters and just feeling so unnerved the whole time. And it's mainly because of obviously just that fear of, us being humans, and not being able to adapt to things that, Mother Nature really just happens to. I mean, obviously this is more science fiction, Lovecraftian kind of in a way. I've used that word twice now. But this really is just such a beautiful blend of horror and science fiction, with incredible acting.
Yes.
These five ladies go into, this void, these five women, and they are just trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and the shimmer. And I just really, really love it. Oscar Isaac, he's in it as well. And he's fantastic. He comes out of the shimmer, and they're pretty much the reason why they're going back in to figure out what's the mystery of the shimmer. But you said you've seen this movie.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love that. That is so, like you said, it's such a great mix of sci-fi and horror right there. And love the performances, the music in the movie, though.
The sound design is just, it's unnerving.
Yes. And I don't give anything away if anybody's never seen it, but there's definitely some moments in that film that you'll think about, like, after you're done watching it.
You won't forget about it.
I don't want to give too much. Well, I'm just gonna say there's a stomach scene. I think, is it a stomach scene? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
That got me. That got me the first time I watched it.
Yeah. I'm thinking more of what nature does for myself. But anyway, that's all I'll say. Like, it's just like, what is going on here?
What is happening? I know, and I think that's like that movie where it's a film that it surprises you throughout it. Like, you think you might know something, and then it kind of like does something different. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. And I highly recommend it for people. It's on what Justin said, like, on the sound, like the score is just phenomenal. The acting's great. The science fiction's great. The horror is great as well. It's just this weird like I honestly, I'm surprised more people didn't talk about it when it came out that year. Because it's definitely, like, I think more of a sleeper hit. And I was mentioning Alex Garland. He's the director. He's done, he's wrote Sunshine, 28 Days Later. He wrote those films for Danny Boyle. He directed Ex Machina before this one. And so he's a great director, and he's a great writer too. So highly recommend his stuff.
I agree. Yes, I'm the same way. I agree. All right, let's go through these comments real quick. Let's see. Jamie says she got lost in the corn maze. I got lost in a corn maze once too, Jamie. So it's okay.
You got out. The children were all around you, though.
That's right. That's it. Let's see. Jay, I watched a great movie the other night. It's called Primer.
Primer's trippy.
I have to see that one. I've never seen that. So
that one, out of all the movies we've mentioned, that's probably the one that's like, it's a lot like. Have you seen Tenet? It's not.
Yes.
Not at all the same. By the way, just confusing is what I'm getting at. With the, like you have to watch it a few times to really, like, kind of get at, like, I feel like how much. I mean, it's interesting though. I love it though. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I have to watch that one. Let's see. And then Jamie, I missed the comment. She said, I thought Paris Hilton was fantastic in House of Wax. Poor girl gets bashed for it. I agree. I think she's great in it. So she was, I think from I think she got. I remember when that movie came out, and yeah, people didn't see it because she was in it, but she's great in it. So she is great. I love House of Wax, so that's a fun one. Big Bolly, thoughts on the last Leatherface movie and the upcoming one to premiere on Netflix? The last one I wasn't too crazy about. You need to go back and watch it, and I'm looking forward to seeing this new one on Netflix. So
I've only seen the first.
Yep. That's a fun series. It's a fun one.
Yeah, I know the second one. I know the second one's a comedy. So yeah, I've seen a lot of clips from it. So, but
I love it. I love it. Jamie, she says, I went to sub to Nathan and found out I'm already subbed. Well, awesome.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Some love for the Frighteners with Michael J. Fox in here. That's a great movie. I love the Frighteners. Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson, yeah, he did that, and then he did Lord of the Rings. Like, how did that translate? But it did. Somehow he did it. He did it.
It did. My buddy Cody, I'll have to check that out. I've never heard of it. Annihilation, he's talking about. So, Annihilation. Definitely go watch it, Cody. It's a trippy movie, but I love it. So, I love it. I'm glad you picked that one because that's an underrated one. Like. Underappreciated. I
have both the scores for Annihilation and The Witch on record, and they are just intense. And so I could just play them on in the background if I'm doing like housework or something, and just give myself more like a heart attack.
I like and I'm gonna probably do a bad impression of the score, but in Annihilation, that do 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 do. I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I love it. Let's see. We got some. Sean Brown says, "Yeah, Annihilation's underrated. It is." But Big Bolly says, "I feel like The Others is one of the best ghost movies of all time." I've only seen that a couple times. I need to watch that again.
I've not seen that one.
With Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, I know of it, but I've never seen it. I don't think.
It's a good one. I remember it having a really good atmosphere in it. Let's see. Let's see. Jay, talking about Leatherface. He says, I think the Leatherface on Netflix is going to be great. Fingers crossed. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. So, and then my buddy Cody, anyone excited for the Chucky series coming this week? I'm looking forward to it. So, big Child's Play fan. So
I will say I've never been a fan, but that's just me. I'm sorry to everybody. I don't get scared by that. I don't know why, but it's just not my type. I mean, I need to probably just turn off my brain and just enjoy the comical kind of slasher side of it all. But maybe one day in the right spot and circumstance, I might like them.
They're fun. Now, the first one, though, I feel like the first one's a good scary one, though. Like that.
I've seen that one. That's the only one I've seen. And I thought it was pretty okay. It just I don't get scared with dolls. That's just not something that scares me. Even with Annabelle, I remember watching Annabelle. Even those movies aren't really scary, but I just remember, at least to me, they're not. But I just remember watching stuff like that. Yeah, they're fun. But yeah, I don't know. Just dolls have never really got freaked me out per se. But it's more of the things I've chosen so far. It's more of like I don't know what the hell's going on, and I think I like that. I think there's a reason I like it. But
that's the scariest stuff for me, is the stuff that you just talked about. So that stuff gets me. The stuff that you either imagine in your head, or you're like, okay, what's happening here? Mm-hmm. So. But going on, I think we're on number 5. I went with a Carpenter movie that is not Halloween. It's not The Thing.
Oh, my favorite.
I love The Thing, but I wanted to go. I wanted to go with Christine.
Ooh,
Ooh is right. I love Christine. Oh, I love that steelbook.
Nice one. It's one of the few steelbooks I own. I don't do that. I don't like those anymore, but I love this one.
Yeah. Christine is a pretty underrated Carpenter movie. I feel like besides some of his fantastic staples, which I was going to say The Thing is fantastic. Halloween's fantastic. The Fog. But like I feel like there's some Carpenter movies that just have built a following over time, kind of like with The Thing.
Yeah.
But when they first came out, people really didn't talk about them or criticize them. But yeah, Christine for me. This is the one I went with. There's some amazing Carpenter movies out there. This is one of them for me. And between the score in the movie, which Carpenter's well known for doing the score, the performances, which for the longest time, everybody kept telling me that I look like the guy from Christine. Yeah, I just love this. And this is one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations. So I really love this movie so much. And who would have thought, like, in my opinion, a car can be scary.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Carpenter with Stephen King was able to do that. So I love this. Christine.
Great performance from the car.
Great performance. Exactly. So, but yeah, I love that movie. So when did you see that one?
I mean, I want to say I watched it when I was younger. I remember watching parts of it, but I don't think until I got that Blu-ray a few years ago on Steelbook is when I think I remember seeing the whole thing. So I want to say a few years ago, but I definitely had seen it when I was younger, but just I only remembered parts of it. But yeah, I think it's a great movie. I think it's one of the better Stephen King films, even though there's a lot of really good Stephen King films, to be honest, and adaptations, even the ones that he doesn't like. The Shining, cough, cough.
I love that. Cough, cough. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love that, and that's one of my favorite John Carpenters too. And I mean, big fanboy of John Carpenter as well. So I mean, like he doesn't make very many bad movies. There is a few that I don't like that much, but most of the movies he's made are like a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah. And scary. Like he's able to make like a really good scary movie and eerie atmosphere.
You mentioned, this isn't one of my choices, but this is my favorite horror movie of all time. So I've mentioned it before. But yeah, can't beat something like that. Carpenter's perfect. So
I love that one. Real quick, Big Bolly says favorite horror remake. He said, I really love The Hills of Eyes and the Amityville. My favorite horror movie remake, it always jumps back and forth between Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Hills of Eyes. But I'm going to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre right now.
That's a good one. I don't know. Can't think off the top of my head. I can think of things are not horror based that I'm like I like that, and then I'm like, no, that's not horror based. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump forward in time and say, even though this movie isn't necessarily a horror movie, the things in it are a little horrifying, but the new Nightmare Alley by Del Toro is going to be fun, even though I know it's not a horror movie, it's a noir. But like the original is a really, really great dark noir with some scary elements. Not necessarily a scary movie, not even close. But I don't know. I have to think about that for what I would have to think about what I would want to say is my favorite franchise remakes.
I'm looking forward to Nightmare Alley though. That's going to be good. CCG, what's up, buddy? Watched the 2013 Carrie remake today. Couldn't deal, but I made up with it by watching The Shining. Awesome. There you go. And then Jay did. Christine needs a reboot using a smart car. Like it can use GPS, internet, and all that. They are remaking it, so that's actually something that's in their works.
Well, just put it with Crash, which is another sexy car movie.
Which one?
Crash.
Cronenberg's Crash. Yeah. I don't think I've seen that one. I have to watch that one.
You need to. You have to be in a mood though to watch that movie. I was luckily in a mood to watch that movie, and I was not disappointed. And it does not leave your mind. Just let you know that.
Yeah. I'll have to watch that. And then J-Dad, best remake, Rob Zombie's Halloween. That used to be, it's still my top 10 favorite remakes, but that's not my favorite remake anymore. So, but I think it's great I overall really enjoy that movie. So, all right. So what is your number 5, bud?
My number 5 is actually, I just checked today because I remember, I think I saw this first on Netflix, and it's not there anymore. It's on Shudder though. So anyone who's watching this, I'm sure all of you have Shudder. But this is a movie that came out in 2016, another more recent one. But this is a South Korean film that is one that just like when I watched it, I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I just loved the combinations of so many different movies that you would see in this. But it is The Wailing right here. This is just one of my favorite kind of. It's almost like it's a combination of like The Exorcist mixed with the Silence of the Lambs mixed with like, you know, most of the, like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of something else that it mixes with. It's just this weird, it's a weird mashup. There's also a lot of comedic moments in it too, but done very tastefully. But there's also a lot of tension going on because it's really just about this out of nowhere like town in Korea, dealing with this like pretty much this plague of things that are happening. Like people are like burning, dead bodies are you know, just popping up, and these detectives are like, what the hell's going on? They're trying to figure out what the heck's going on, and there's like this like who's committing these things, who's this is town cursed, there's these people, like there's a lot of red herrings that is going on with this, and I don't know, it's just it's a great mashup of so many things that I really, really love. And it's not a movie I don't feel like a lot of people talk about necessarily too much. It's a longer one though too. Let's see how long it is. It is 157 minutes, so it's almost 3 hours long. Just at 2 hours and a half or so, but it's not boring whatsoever because like almost every 10 minutes there's something crazy happening in the movie. But yeah, The Wailing. Have you seen this one?
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard of it. It's on my list to watch, though.
It's incredible.
I need to watch that.
So much fun.
I'll watch it this month, so I need to go get that one. But you got some love for The Wailing here, J-Dead. Yes, on The Wailing. Love that movie, so I'm gonna have to watch that one.
So it's good. It's very good.
Big Bolly says the Rob Zombie Firefly trilogy is another good one to watch for Halloween, especially House 1000 Corpses. I love House 1000 Corpses. It's bizarre and fun, but that is a go-to Halloween movie for me. So
I've only seen I think I've only seen that one. No, I may have seen The Devil's Rejects. I've not. I used to listen to Rob Zombie more. I liked his music more than I liked his movies. That's the Rob Zombie guy I was. So I think beforehand we were talking about music for a second, but like for people who can see my shirt right here, I like metal. It's weird because with like horror, this is something that I've always had this weird distinction in my mind for people. How I describe it, I think probably yourself and probably most of the people who are watching this right now are probably bigger horror fans than me, or at least they like, varying levels of the types of horror there is out there, from like the really gory, slashy, Fulci films or something like that to, Carpenter and, the more modern films we're talking about. Yeah. But for me, it's like metal is like, I love death metal and black metal and like that's like the music equivalent to horror movies. And and it's just, and they're singing about the same crap that we're watching. But for me, like it's the audible that makes more sense to me than the visual. I don't know why necessarily, but I'm sure they're really good together. Just got to let everyone know that that they're a really good pairing. And so obviously Rob Zombie is certainly one of those people that mixes that up, even though he's more of in the rock territory, in my opinion, than metal. But that's just me picking straws. So
hey. I was to say though, like I think what I love about all genres of film, but especially talking horror movies, is there's so many different subgenres, so we can all have our favorites.
Oh yeah, same with metal. So many subgenres.
Same with metal.
You could be listening to Nightwish or Cannibal Corpse.
I love Nightwish.
Yeah, which one do you want to listen to? I love them both. Yeah, me too.
Oh, so shout out to Nightwish. Yes, okay. There you go.
I've seen them live. They're great.
Have you really?
I have, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We'll have to talk about that at another point, at another time, but that's awesome. Jamie, she let's see, some love for Donnie Darko. Jamie says Donnie Darko is a good one for the Halloween season.
I don't have that arrow. Do you have are you pulling the arrow out?
Yeah, it fell. Sorry.
Oh no! Oh no! It's ruined, everyone.
It's ruined. There's a mark on it. You know, I've only seen it once, so I bought this because that's going to be something I will watch this month. Donnie
Nice.
Darko.
It's a good movie. I have my standard copy over there because I'm a peasant, you know.
It's okay. It's a little damaged, though. I'm sorry.
It's a little damaged. It's okay.
It's okay. It's pretty. It's safe. It's all right. It's going to be all right. So, but that, I'm looking forward to watching that. So
It's a good one.
I've only seen it once. I need to go and go watch it this month. And then let's see. Big Ball, thoughts on the Ghost Ship movie? I love that. Talking Dark Castle Entertainment, House on Haunted Hill, and all those House of Wax. That's a good one.
You know, last time I watched it a long time ago. I remember.
Oh, Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
Let's see, Jamie, love for Ghost Ship as well. I love Ghost Ship.
Snapcase, nice.
Snapcase copy.
Nice DVD.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
DVD memories, physical media memories, right there. I love it. All right, so you did your number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 6, of course, I had to go with something that is Halloween based. You know, you got to have those movies that you watch that take place around the Halloween setting. And I went with the Halloween movie, but I did not go with one that people would probably think that I would go with. I actually went with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Hear the music, everyone.
Dun, 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 dun. No, that's the wrong one. It's 10 more days to Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, I went with this one. I feel like this movie's getting a lot more love now than it did when I first saw it. Because when I first saw it, it was on TV, and I loved it right away. I thought it was great. And it was a film that I could not find a DVD, Blu-ray, I'm drawing a blank, DVD, VHS copy, because back then it was DVD and VHS. So I watched it on TV, and then I recorded it on a blank VHS tape. And that's how I watched it for a while until I got the DVD copy. And I feel like this is getting a lot more love than it did when it first came out. I feel like when it first came out, I was the only one that loved it because no one was talking about it. And if they were talking about it, people were hating on it, bashing it. But it's got an amazing atmosphere. It's got a wonderful it's got a wonderful score. I was going to say that. I love the score.
Mm-hmm.
And, just a fun one. It's a fun, eerie, atmospheric movie. And, I love Halloween 3.
And the whole concept of what's going on in that movie is terrifying. I mean, as a kid, if you were a kid, that would scare me, to be honest. Like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't be watching TV no more.
Yes. It's the scene that always gets me is obviously the one that a lot of people know, and it's the scene where the little boy has the pumpkin mask on his face and it's like ripping it apart. And I love that. I love you got the 10 more days to Halloween, but like the score, like when the movie first starts, and it's like that. I don't know how to describe it. Electronic. Yeah. I love that. I love that. So, but yeah, that's. I was like, I need to find one that's like Halloween based. But I don't want to do Halloween. Obviously, Carpenter's Halloween is a classic. I love it. Trick or Treat.
That's what I was thinking. You were going for a second, and then you switched it up. So
I threw it for your loop. I surprised you, Nathan. So I might have surprised people in the comments. So
nice.
But going through these real quick, Jamie says, "Good choice, Justin. Thank you. My buddy Cody loves H2O. I love H2O as well.
As do I.
There you go." Big Balla says, "I really love the Hatchet movie, especially the last one. I love that franchise. They're a lot of fun." J Dead says, "Gotta ask Nathan, are you a fan of old Mercy Fate music?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. It's been a bit since I've listened to them, but I think you would like them, Justin. That like the precursor to like Camelot and Nightwish and things like that. So you would like it. It's good.
I'll have to check that out. Check them out. Let's see. Jamie says, I saw Halloween 3 in theaters when it came out. We knew he wasn't going to be in it because all the trailers showed Halloween as a movie. And let's see. Oh, I can't read. We knew he wasn't going to be in it because all the trailers showed Halloween as a movie in the movie. I was shocked when others complained. Well, I love it. I've always loved it ever since I first saw it. So I'm glad there's some love for Halloween. I'm glad people love and appreciate that movie. So it's a good like invasion movie too. So which I know they were kind of going with. So which is great. Big Balla says, did the ant on the first Pet Cemetery scare you? Are you talking about Zelda? I think Zelda. To this day, I get creeped out when watching her. Yeah. That scared me. Yeah.
I need to see Pet Cemetery again. It's been way too long. Another Stephen King thing that's good.
All right. And then let's see. Baby Herman, if you could have a pizza with one director, who would it be and what kind of pizza? I'm going to have... You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to cop out and cheat just because it's funny. I don't think he directed this. I know he didn't direct this, but I know he had a part in it. But I'm going to say John Hughes, and I'm going to say Home Alone, the reason being cheese pizza, because I'm just like, that's a classic. I mean, obviously, I like all pizza now. I like pineapple, jalapenos, whatever. But my go-to a lot of the times is just like I don't really want anything fancy. I just want cheese. Sometimes I do that. But I love it all. I love all pizza, but I just Home Alone. I know John Hughes didn't do it, but that would be cool. I don't know, but that's just who I thought of because you said pizza, and that's the only reason I'm blanking.
I'm gonna go with. See, I was gonna go Carpenter, but you know what? I'd like to talk to Wes Craven if he was still alive today. Talk to Wes Craven. Obviously, Carpenter. I love Carpenter. Wes Craven, and I'll go a sausage and pepperoni pizza. There we go. Talk about all of Wes Craven's work. I would like to know like his like underrated stuff to like Nightmare on Elm Street. All right, buddy. So what is your number 6?
My number 6 is another film that's an international choice. This one came out. Let me check real quick if I can find it on the date of. I love how every movie has a different place to put the date and time. That's the biggest fun thing about this. I don't remember, and I can't find it, but I want to say it's late 2000s. I might be wrong on this. It might be early 2010s, but I'm talking about The Orphanage right here by J.A. Bayona, who went on to do some not so great movies like the second Jurassic World movie, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about The Orphanage. This I think produced by Del Toro, and so it definitely has a lot of Del Toro marks attached to it. If anyone's familiar with like Pan's Labyrinth or The Devil's Backbone, it's kind of got similar vibes with it. Maybe more so Devil's Backbone, but it really is about an orphanage, and it's like a haunted house film about these children who are spirits in this house, and it's a very sad movie, honestly. But I also really love melancholic things, and I think Del Toro is one of the best filmmakers around right now. And also, I think he taps into emotion in horror and in this other realm, especially with ghosts, really, really well. So I think J.A. Bayona is tapping into that himself with this one. But I think Bayona does a really, really good job with this movie, in particular with atmosphere, and just one of those. I know we talked about the Changeling earlier, but like the Changeling would lead to stuff like this, and I think this would be something that I think is pretty tasteful. And well, if we're going back in time with the Changeling, let's talk about like The Haunting, and like it goes all the way back. It goes all the way back. and goes further than that too, of course. But things like this that are more modern, I think this is like the effective way to make a haunted house film, is to really add emotion to it. You can connect to the people in it. You can connect to things that aren't necessarily anything that you can latch onto, and that's the reason I like these movies. I like to feel things, not even just scared.
Yes.
I like to cry. So
same here.
This is a movie that'll hopefully make you cry and scare you. It's scary.
It made me cry because I've seen it. It's a great one. I love that movie. That's a great choice. That's a great choice right there. When we got some comments, Jamie, I haven't seen The Orphanage. One to add to my list. And then Jay said the same thing. I'm adding The Orphanage to my list. So there we go, guys. So check out The Orphanage. Check that one out. That is a great choice right there. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but that is a great movie. So, and you talk Del Toro. I think it's pretty underrated. Crimson Peak. I'm a big Crimson Peak fan.
Another, like, not really necessarily much of a horror film. It's more of like a gothic horror film of sorts. I love how it taps into, I love like Hammer horror, like it's behind me.
Yes.
There. Wherever you're at.
Love it.
And I love that gothic stuff. And so, I just started watching Vincent Price movies. I know everybody.
I just started too. I'm slowly getting into a stuff. So
yeah. So I just watched one last night. I watched The Haunted Palace. That was a lot of fun. That was a Lovecraft adaptation. But yeah, Crimson Peak is great, and it's definitely one that I feel like a lot of more people are coming around to it. I honestly think so. Much like Halloween 3, because like I remember when it came out, a lot of people were disappointed. Which is, yeah.
I agree. I loved it when I remember when Crimson Peak came out, and it wasn't loved by a lot of people, and I love that. So Jamie has a great comment here. Crimson Peak had a great atmosphere. I agree.
And color palette too.
Agree. Yes, it did.
Beautiful film.
It is yes, it is. Let's see. Comment here. Let's see. Bobo Fetts. Who's your favorite Freddy character, not Freddy, and Kill in a Nightmare on Elm Street franchise?
Johnny Depp, probably.
Johnny Depp, Heather Langenkamp, Nancy. I love Nancy, but I'm going to go with Lisa Wilcox, Alice from Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and I would say my favorite kill is Tina's death in the original. I love that. So that's creep. That still scares me today.
In the second one, the shower scene's pretty scary.
That is scary. Yes.
Yeah.
And I love Jesse as a character. That's one of my favorite characters, Mark Patton. So, going through these questions real quick. Sorry if I miss any questions, guys, or comments. But thank you guys so much for joining. This has been so much fun. Brooke, how are you, Brooke? Justin, have you received the Halloween 4Ks yet? I have not, but I think you might have just popped in, Brooke. But Nathan has picked up some of the 4Ks right now. So far,
a few of them. Yep, I have 1, 2, and 4.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I'm excited to get those. And then Big Balla. Let's see. Let's go through these. Let's see. The Orphan is another good Halloween movie. That is a good one.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. But guys, let's see. I'm gonna go through these. Jamie says Del Toro really knows how to use color. Yes, he does. Sean, did you guys see The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp? I have not seen that one.
I'm gonna have
to add that one because Jamie just said The Ninth Gate is my favorite, or one of my favorite Johnny Depp movies. And then Big Balla says, thoughts on Freddy vs. Jason? I think it's a fun one.
It's a fun one. Yeah, for sure.
It is a fun one. But guys, we're going to wrap this up. First of all, I want to say thank you all for the comments and watching. This has been so much fun. And if you guys are going to watch the playback, I hope you enjoyed our list of movies. Real quick, do we want to recap everything that we talked about?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So the first one I picked was Night of the Living Dead. Legend of Hellhouse.
Ooh.
Love that. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Christine, and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
10 more days till Halloween.
Halloween.
Well, it's actually 21 more days till Halloween.
That's right.
But I chose The Changeling, which actually we both chose. So if anyone missed that, that's a really funny moment.
Yeah.
Funny
moment there.
Funny moment there. After Midnight, right here from Arrow, I chose The Witch, the Witch, right there. I chose Annihilation, The Wailing, and The Orphanage.
Love it. So, and Jamie says, thanks, guys. Awesome stream. Well, thank you, Jamie, for joining, and thank you, everybody, for joining. And you guys have some recommendations now. So if you guys haven't seen any of these, definitely go watch them. But I want to say thank you to you, Nathan. Thank you for joining my live stream and talking spooky movies for the Halloween season. So.
Well, I want to say thank you. I love it, and I'm glad that we're in the thicket of October. I'm sure a lot of people are very excited, that this month is happening right now. So I just wanted to say I also, just a slight plug, but right now I'm actually going through a challenge that I put on my own channel. So if anyone is interested in potentially doing this, it's totally easy to do. It can probably fit into what you're already doing, watching with what you're watching for Halloween. But it's the 666 challenge to mark on some, knock on wood for people. But what you have to do is you're picking 18 films. So 6 category, like you're doing 3 categories of 6 each. And the first 6 are just classics that you watch every Halloween, right? So not anything, you don't have to do anything for that one. So just pick 6 movies that you normally watch during the Halloween season. 6 movies that you haven't seen before that you really want to watch, right? So movies that you haven't seen that are on your queue. And then the last one is a theme. So you get to choose a theme of maybe an actor or a director or maybe a type of genre that you want to really explore. Like for me, I chose Vincent Price. And so I'm watching 6 movies with Vincent Price in it. And so that's what I'm gonna be doing here with the 666 movie challenge. But if anyone is wanting to do that, I implore you to challenge yourself there. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's super doable. And I think a lot of people are probably already watching a mixture of things that they love, things they haven't seen, etc. So,
well, and I was gonna say your challenges are always fun. So, I love the challenges. But guys, if you haven't subscribed to my buddy Nathan's channel yet, which I've seen some people already sub already, thank you. Well, please go subscribe. I almost said thank you. Please go subscribe to my buddy Nathan's channel. And once again, Nathan, thank you for joining this fun live chat. So it's always a pleasure talking with you, and always so much fun.
Well, I appreciate you, buddy, and I'm glad that I was able to do this. I want to say thanks to everyone in the comment section, everyone who's watching this later on as well. It's been a blast. And if you want to follow me, I'm sure the link will be in the description down below, but it's my name, Nathan Jones. You can find me there, and I'll be there. I'll be putting up some content soon. I'm taking a slight little bit of a break right now because life is really busy right now. But yeah, it's also October, so when I'm not doing that, I'm getting spooky.
But a couple things real quick. If you guys don't know Nathan, though, talks physical media, talks movies, has some really awesome series on there, including your film journey series. So you guys go check out his channel. One of the best on YouTube, one of the best people on YouTube, and a great friend in my opinion. So you're a great friend. Thank you, buddy. But anyway, I'll go through these quick 3 comments real quick. Good picks. Well, thank you so much. Rudy, great list. Thank you for the recommendations. And then CCG, patiently waiting for a new Friday 13th film, hopefully better than 2009. I'm ready for a new Friday 13th film, buddy. So anyway, guys, Born to Be Rad, by the way, I'm going to be on his channel in just a little bit. He's doing a live stream soon, so definitely go check out Garrett, Born to Be Rad, another channel I'll leave down below. But thank you guys so much for joining this. Hopefully you get some fun recommendations here. And once again, go subscribe to Nathan's channel. So I'm going to say go eat some Skittles, in with positive, out with the negative. Do you want to end it, Nathan?
I'm not jonesing around.
There we go. Have a good night, guys.
See you guys.